Did you know that 269 innocent passengers were murdered in cold blood by their own government's mistake? Korean Air Flight 007 departed New York on August 31, 1983, bound for Seoul. Among the passengers sat Congressman Larry McDonald and families returning home. They settled in for what should have been a routine overnight flight. But a navigation error sent them drifting into Soviet airspace over Sakhalin Island. Soviet fighters scrambled immediately. Pilots received direct orders to destroy the aircraft. At 35,000 feet, passengers were sleeping peacefully when the missile struck. The plane broke apart instantly. 269 people fell through darkness, fully conscious. Later, recordings revealed Soviet officials knew it was a civilian flight. They covered it up anyway, claiming it was an American spy plane. A navigation mistake became mass murder. Did you know the FBI recorded the final moments before the Waco tragedy? Hidden surveillance equipment captured chilling conversations as Branch Davidians prepared for their own deaths. David Koresh's voice can be heard giving deadly instructions to families with small children. The recordings reveal cult members discussing spreading fuel throughout their compound rooms. Federal agents listened in real time as accelerants were distributed, knowing what was coming but powerless to stop it. 76 people died in the flames, including 25 children. The government heard them planning their fiery end and couldn't prevent the horror. Did you know Stalin once created his own version of hell on Earth? In 1933, he dumped 6,000 political prisoners on a barren island in Siberia. No food, no tools, no shelter, just frozen ground and desperation. Within days, people started dying. Within weeks, the survivors did the unthinkable. They began eating the dead, then the living. Guards watched from across the water as humans turned into monsters. They called it Nazino Island, but prisoners had another name for it, Death Island. The Soviet Union buried this story for 60 years. Did you know that in the 1920s, women were literally glowing green as they died at work? At the Radium Dial Company, young women painted watch faces with radioactive paint. Their bosses told them to lick their brushes to make perfect points. The women thought it was glamorous work. Soon, their jaws started rotting away. Their bones crumbled. In the dark, their bodies glowed an eerie green. The company executives knew radium was deadly. They wore protective gear while forcing workers to put poison in their mouths. Dozens died while the company covered it up for years. Did you know that some victims of the atomic bomb left permanent shadows burned into concrete walls that you can still see today? But that was just the beginning of the horror. Survivors watched radioactive black rain fall from the sky, burning their skin as they desperately sought shelter. Within days, their hair fell out in clumps, then their fingernails. Many looked fine at first, only to die weeks later as their organs slowly failed from radiation poisoning. The most disturbing part? Decades later, their children were still born with mutations and cancer. The bomb never stopped killing. Did you know a routine safety test triggered the worst nuclear disaster in history? At 1:23 in the morning on April 26, 1986, operators at Chernobyl Reactor 4 began what seemed like standard procedure. The night shift was calm. No one suspected anything unusual. Then someone pressed a button to start the test. Within seconds, the reactor temperature spiked beyond all safety limits. Steam pressure built to catastrophic levels as operators watched in growing panic. The control rods weren't stopping the reaction. Nothing was working. Then it happened. A massive explosion launched the 2,000-ton reactor lid like a bottle cap. Radioactive graphite blocks shot across the city while workers were vaporized instantly. Radiation levels reached 16,000 times normal. The Soviet government covered it up for days while radioactive clouds spread across Europe. One button press, global catastrophe.